So I was showing Misha this guide I got. This was in the New York Times this week, in the future of immunization and vaccines, right there. So no matter how much information comes out right now, no matter how many results come, no matter how many studies come, instead of saying, hey, wait, maybe we should stop and take a look at this, they're going through with their plan. And we have to always be prepared. We still need to talk about pandemics and how to approach future ones. Yeah, why don't we talk about the fact that they're going through the courts right now, through Congress right now, talking about the origins of this whole situation. Like, that needs to be paid attention to. They still want you to make you think that it was just by accident and it just happened. A unique platform in helping create universal vaccines with multiple benefits. No matter what, they're going to push it. This is a good one. How maternal immunization can help protect newborns' health from day one. Now, I don't know about you, but we've seen this before. We looked at little children, what the percentages of them getting sick and dying from COVID. It's like you have a better chance of hitting the lottery. And then this is the best part, what it says right in here. It says from lab to jab in 100 days. This is in the New York Times, a little pamphlet they handed out. Right? Beyond COVID-19, how mRNA shows promise in the future of vaccines. And we have the little crazy stuff going out there, like people winning the Nobel Peace Prize and all these other prizes for inventing this shit.
100 days?
In 100 days. It says lab to jab in 100 days.
Wow.
Right there. Flexible vaccine development to improve health response. This is in the New York Times, baby. So no matter what, they're still pushing this on the mass. Why we should reestablish trust in vaccines and infectious diseases professionals. You mean all those jerks that were wrong and lied? You want to talk about one of those people right there? Let's take a look at this. Right? So this is Dr. Paul Offit on why he is not getting this year's COVID booster, says myocarditis could last longer than previously thought. Oh, just if myocarditis lasts a little small time, it's okay. Take a listen. Paul Allen, let me read this real quick and have the video. Paul Allen Offit, because I want you to understand who this is an American pediatrician specializing in infectious diseases, vaccines, immunology, and virology. He is the co-inventor of the rotavirus vaccine. Offit is the Maurice R. Hillman Professor of Vaccinology, Professor of Pediatrics at the Perelman School of Medicine at the University of Pennsylvania, former chief of the Division of Infectious Diseases from 1992 to 2014, and the director of the Vaccine Education Center at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. Offit is a member of the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, Vaccines and Related Biological Products Advisory Committee, and was a member of the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control Advisory Committee on Immunization and Practices. This is from Wikipedia. So here is why he is no longer going to go along with the program, despite the New York Times saying, you need to get aboard, ladies and gentlemen, and get with it. Take a listen.
I mean, I think what the CDC needs to do is they need to tell us who is getting hospitalized this year, and who's dying. What are their ages? What exactly are their comorbidities? Did they get a vaccine? If so, when was their last dose? Most importantly, did they take an antiviral, which I think Dr. Griffin on his clinical updates consistently makes that point about how we tend to overlook that. And who are they? And then in concert with academic immunologists, I would like to see sort of a more longitudinal look at how frequencies of T cells, especially cytotoxic T cells, are holding up over time. I mean, I'll take myself as an example. I've had 3 doses of the Wuhan 1 strain. My last dose was in November of 2021. I had a mild 2-day infection in May of 2022 with what was probably a BA2 strain because that was prominent at the time. I think I'm protected. I didn't get last year's bivalent vaccine. I'm not getting this year's vaccine because I think I have high frequencies of T cells. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I would like the academic immunologists in concert with CDC epidemiologists to answer those questions.
And also, many people say, all right, I understand your arguments, but what's the downside for getting a different COVID booster every year? Is there any?
We don't know because it's an experiment. We don't know because usually vaccines take about 8 to 10 years before they approve it, even though the CDC says and the FDA says that this vaccine is approved and is safe and effective. That's what they say. So that's what what is the downside? And once again, what happened? What light bulb went off in this guy's head? So, maybe I should stop this right now. And he was also implying that maybe they're not looking at the data properly, that they're not looking at other cases and why, and what did you take? Did you take an antiviral? Do you have natural immunity? All these things that didn't factor into play. He's telling you that right now. Clifton Duncan says, we were surprised by myocarditis and pericarditis. We're going to find out about this vaccine over time. Woo! Good thing nobody was mandated to take it or anything. Good thing over there. Wow. Thank God. Not that people in New York lost their jobs that still haven't got their job back to today. Not that people lost their jobs in other places like California because they didn't want to do it. Not like people lost their jobs in Hawaii. Not like people lost their jobs everywhere else. Not like the government said, well, it's up to the individual businesses now to start making these decisions and put it in the hands of the individual businesses. Pretty much gave them the green light to act as God. And if you didn't play ball, you were out in the streets suffering. And people were coerced, and that's what they did. They went ahead and took it because they didn't want to lose their job because they didn't have any answer out of it. But I don't do this, and that's what I told you that this was about. This is not about a vaccine. This is about control. This is about the government and the state going, we're going to test our boundaries here. We're going to tell people if you don't do what the government says, if you don't do what the state says, then you're going to get punished. That's what this is about. Rearranging society over the sniffles. I got another video here. It's Matt Orphalia. Offit previously said you don't have the right to not get the new vax. He said you don't have the right. But now the light bulb went off in his head.
It is not your right as an American citizen to catch and transmit a potentially fatal infection.
What did you say? Wait, what did he say?
It is not your right as an American citizen to catch and transmit a potentially fatal infection.
Completely different now. Different story. I don't know what changed. Maybe we should take a better look at this and stuff next time. What do you think?
Hey, come see us on tour. We're going to be in Tampa, Boca Raton, Orlando, Dallas, Houston, San Diego, Bloomington, Illinois, Indianapolis, and Levittown, New York. Wow, that's a lot of dates. See you there.